Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, just doing a quick little video on my second channel here. Gonna be very stream of consciousness. Nothing scripted, probably not even edited, unless I like grotesquely fuck up somewhere. In which case, you'll know if I did, because there will suddenly be a jump cut. So, this is kind of a response video, a little bit, but I'm not even going to show the original videos. I encourage you to go watch them. They're interesting. Two videos. The first one was by The Quartering, and then the response video to that from Noel Plum. And both these guys are great. I've been watching Noel Plum for a really long time. The Quartering's been YouTubing for a long time, but I've only recently become acquainted with his new channel, and I like what he has to say. I like what he does. He's got. They both have great presence, good voices, and they make a lot of sense. So largely, this conversation is about the skeptic community. Now, about a year ago, I was very, very vocal in how much I did not like the term community. At the time, I believe I had skeptic in my bio on Twitter. It just seemed like the thing to put in there. But previous to that, my involvement with YouTube was debunking anti-GMO, anti-vax sort of pseudoscience. That's where I got my start. I started drifting into identity politics, much in the same way like Thunderfoot did. Thunderfoot did because he was addressing one specific problem, but then the group of people he found himself surrounded by were getting thrown into like progressive left political dog shit, basically. And I was seeing that infesting everything. Almost every Facebook group that I was in that was a pro-science, pro-empiricism group started, you know, spouting off really, really crazy SJW style stuff. And it drove me nuts. It drove me nuts because, you know, you go there for the science and you end up immersed in people talking about rape culture. And, you know, I thought we were talking about GMOs. Why are we suddenly talking about rape culture? I don't get this. Where is this coming from? So that bothered me quite a bit. And so, as it turns out, I naturally fell into the anti-social justice skeptic community sort of genre. Made a lot of friends, started talking to people, and making connections, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. There were complications at times where I butted heads with specific people. I have as easygoing as I can be. I also have within me the capacity for a hyper-aggressive personality. I grew up, and in my early 20s, into my mid-20s, I was pretty much a gutter punk, traveling around, working different jobs, living in hovels and shitty places. I thrived as a short-order cook in post-Katrina New Orleans wasteland. Like, that was just my bread and butter. So I have a very abrasive personality at times, especially when I deal with conflict. And it's not because I'm dismissive, that's how I talk. It's just how I talk. But I built a lot of the value of my channel because I was easygoing and I had this capacity to break things down in a compassionate way, even when I was irritated. I was merciless against people who were trying to spread ignorance, yet at the same time, I had this tendency to be, I don't know, chill, I guess. It's the best way to put it. And it was fun because, and it worked really well, because the people who drew my ire were those who I felt really, really deserved it. You know, the SJW brigade that would you know, shame people for the stupidest things. You know, it's easy to get your aggression out on them, and if you got your aggression out, it's easy to be chill about everything else and be patient with people. So I started finding a lot of success with my channel. I was enjoying it a lot. And then something happened. Already after the election of Donald Trump, you could kind of feel, and everybody felt it. A lot of people talked about it. I talked to a lot of other YouTubers, many of them much bigger than me, and many of them much smaller than me. And we could already feel that the anti-social justice genre was kind of starting to collapse. Kinda. But still we persisted, we pushed on, we did other things, you know, worked on whatever projects we wanted to. And I myself have a distinctly, I like to think I have a distinctly different focus a lot of times than my peers. Specifically because of the things that I'm really passionate about. Unfortunately, I feel like that gets clouded, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, to give a little bit of an insider information on how this genre evolved behind the scenes with specific things, it all basically, for me at least, and from what I've been perceiving, it all comes from VidCon. VidCon. That's where I feel like everything just went switched, flipped. Everything flipped. For me, everything flipped. And don't get me wrong, VidCon was an incredible experience. I got to meet firsthand a lot of these people I've been talking to for so long. We made great friendships that'll probably last forever. Met many wonderful people, not just YouTubers, but viewers as well. And we had a great time, an amazing time. It's hard to explain the feeling. Like, many people have seen the picture of like, you know, the YouTubers behind the Kekistan flag, and it was an incredible feeling to be there, you know, to like run past and high five Boogie 298 and shit, to be sitting down with drinks with, you know, Sargon, and running around just shooting the shit and sharing life stories with Adam from Your Movie Sucks. Like, this was an incredible experience for me. But returning back to the world after VidCon, something had noticeably changed. It felt like there was a large, and I'm not really sure why it happened. Maybe it was just kind of perceiving everybody there in one spot. It's no longer just we're similar to each other. Now it's we know each other. Maybe that's what it was. But there seemed to be a change in consciousness for the viewership, that now the joke of the skeptic cabal seemed more real. We seemed more like a monolith. We seemed like an institution. And if there's one thing people who have been immersed in a subculture don't like, is they don't like a monolith, they don't like an industry. So if you felt like our channels were these like punk rock channels where we're challenging this shit, like, no, actually, fuck you, this is reality, man, you can't fucking be pulling us into that, it's shitty what you're doing to people, fuck off. And then suddenly you see all these people that you've been listening to, and suddenly they seem like this club. Maybe that's what it was. But honestly, I still don't know. I don't know. But there was a lot of aggression coming back from VidCon within a few days. There was a lot of aggression pointed towards a shit ton of us all of a sudden, and it was very confusing. And I got defensive. I'm not gonna lie. I got defensive. On top of that, you had like specific dramas that popped up with specific people and things that happened at VidCon, which I'm not gonna touch on because honestly, I don't want to. I don't want to. I feel like I've said it before. I'll say it again. I feel like I was emotionally manipulated at VidCon by somebody. How that got handled necessarily, whether it was a good idea or a bad idea, you know. I wanted to stay out of it, and I didn't, which was a mistake. And while it seemed, I don't know if my aggressiveness came out of a defense mechanism for this change in how people perceived the genre of skeptic community. I'm not really sure where exactly that came from for me, but I got very aggressive. And I started losing a lot of joy I got out of YouTube, because it felt like I was constantly on the defensive. Because no longer did I have people like, you know, Christy Winters and her whole little pack of assholes being like skeptic. I use the word skeptic like a derogatory term and just trying to shit all over. But now I've got people on the other side as well, like this group consolidated effort between people on the exact opposite ends of ideology who hate each other but suddenly hate us more. And that's how it felt. It felt really weird. Very, very strange. Maybe I felt it more than some of the big kids did because I'm not as big as them. Maybe I'm just in that perfect middle range that it just bugged me more than others, or maybe I was just more sensitive. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But this has been like a constant annoying effect that's been driving me crazy. And I've been looking back over the past week, specifically this past week. Sorry, my washing machine is going. On some of the things that I've fallen into, some of the behaviors that I've expressed, and some of the aggression that I've had towards people. And I've had to take a really hard look at myself for that. And I realized that one of the main reasons why I like to do YouTube was because it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a fun thing to do. Not only was I finding success and I'm getting attention, I'm earning a living doing it, but the main reason why I had so much fun, and I think one of the reasons why my channel grew so much as it did, was because I was having fun with it, and I found a fun way for people to enjoy what I was doing. But since I had stopped having fun and I was getting more angry and more pissed off, it was hurting the channel and it was hurting me. It was hurting me up here. I'm trying myself to change, to go back to having fun. Like, I just put out a video yesterday where I dressed up like a hippie, you know, and I'm trying to be an alt health guru. I want to focus, again, on things that I actually care about, because the quartering is right. The well has run dry on anti-SJW, on like SJW content. Most of those people, they're gone. It's dull now, you know. And I feel like I want to go back to the things that I really wanted to talk about to begin with, which is, you know, pseudoscience. So that's kind of where I see where I'm going now. I'm finding the fun in it again, but I have a bit of a ways to go. I need to keep myself from starting fights on Twitter, for one, unless it's in the service for something that's going to work out really well. I need to stop doing live streams on other people's channels, because as much as I might keep my main channel clean of the drama as much as I can, unless it's a very specific type of drama, it doesn't actually really matter. I've been trying to keep it off the channel because I thought, like, well, that'll protect me, you know, whatever. People are only going to subscribe to the channel because of the channel and the content that's in that. But you know what? I'm wrong. The quartering made a good point, and Noel makes a great point. People don't just subscribe for the videos that I put out, they subscribe for me. And if I'm being professional on my main channel, but then I go and I spurg out and act like an asshole, then don't get me wrong, I'm not going to apologize for calling anybody an asshole. I'm not going to apologize for speaking my mind when I genuinely felt it. But I don't have to do it in such an irresponsible manner that hurts my capacity to do good with my channel, which means addressing problems in society, things like pedophilia, people doing predatory pseudoscience practices, or doing charities, because I haven't done a charity in a long time and I love doing it. So I feel like both these gentlemen made very good, well thought out videos. I'll link them in the description. I think you should check them out. Yeah, maybe I need to like take some guided meditation class. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to making fun content again. That's my focus. That's what I want. I mean, shit. Bottom feeder, baby. Anyway, have a good one, everybody. See you later.